Throughout the years, we've seen a lot of Ninjago villains, and most of them have been super powerful and posed a super big threat to the ninja. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking the top 10 strongest Ninjago villains, starting off with number 10. At this spot, I put the Serpentine. Honestly, I think that these guys have some pretty cool and interesting powers, and these powers could be very useful in battle, especially the Fang powers. I absolutely love those guys. They did pose a significant threat to the ninja in Season 1, but I do think that they pale in comparison to some other villains that we'll be seeing coming up. Going into number 9, we have the Skull Sorcerer, and he's also another pretty powerful villain in my opinion. His main power comes from the Skull of Hazadur, which allowed him to resurrect the Dragon Griefbringer and all of the Awakened Warriors, so that definitely makes him super powerful. He can also shoot beams from the Skull of Hazadur, which he's done quite a lot in Season 13. He's also extremely skilled in hand-to-hand combat, which we saw in his fight with Cole. Overall, definitely a pretty strong villain in my opinion. Going on to number 8, now we have Morro. Now Morro is an elemental master, which already makes him super powerful, but even for an elemental master, he was really powerful. Master Wu did say that he was extremely talented, and I'm sure that talent only grew as he trained more. As a ghost, he became even more powerful as he gained the ability to possess stuff, and in possession, he was easily able to kick all of the ninjas' butts while possessing Lloyd's body. So definitely extremely powerful. I can't wait to see what he's gonna do in Dragon's Rising Season 3. Going on to number 7, we have Esfira, and for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to consider her abilities with the Scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu, because that's just how she mainly appeared in Season 11. With her Forbidden Spinjitzu, she's really powerful. She was able to take out all of the ninja at once, granted the ninja were out of shape, but what really pushes her over the others for me is her sorcery. She can suck elemental powers out of people, and she can also use a variety of other spells, like how she unlocked Wu's prison cage in the flashback of Season 11. So overall, I definitely think that she's a super powerful villain, definitely more powerful than the other 3 that we've seen so far. Going into number 6, we have the other villain from Season 11, the Ice Emperor. Now I know you guys are going to say, well, that's just Zane, and well, I'm actually only going to evaluate this guy's power by the powers that he used as the Ice Emperor, which, as it turns out, were pretty powerful. For one, he was holding the Scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu for like over 60 years, which corrupted his mind but also made him extremely powerful. I mean, he was able to freeze an entire realm, create an ice dragon, and easily defeat Lloyd, the Green Ninja. I think mostly just because he was able to take over a whole realm for 6 decades, I'm going to put him ahead of the others on this list so far. Before we move on though, just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Anyway, back to the video. Going into the top 5 now, we have Crux and Acronix. Now these guys are also elemental masters, and their elemental power of time is pretty sick in my opinion. It's basically 4 elemental powers. You can speed up time, slow down, pause, and reverse time. These 2 elemental masters by themselves were able to take on pretty much the entire elemental alliance, including the sons of the first Spinjitzu master, which just goes to show how powerful these guys are. Their elemental powers by themselves are also pretty overpowered in my opinion. Like, I mean, every time you lose a battle, all you have to do is just reverse time and you can easily win the next one. Also, speeding up and slowing down time, that would be so useful in battle. Needless to say, these guys are extremely powerful, but they aren't the most powerful elemental masters on this list, because those would be the Forbidden 5 at number 4. Now, there isn't much known about the Forbidden 5 yet, but from little tidbits we've learned from Dragon's Rising Season 2, they do seem to be extremely powerful. They almost conquered all of the realms until Eagle and Rontu stopped them, and they even invented a corrupted form of Spinjitzu that could only be countered with the Rising Dragon technique. Also, based on Noct from Dragon's Rising Season 2 Part 2, these guys are definitely going to be a huge pickle for the ninja, which is why I'm putting them here just outside of the top 3. Now actually going into the top 3, we have the Oni. Now in the first realm, there was a balance between creation and destruction, the Oni and the dragon, and the Oni represented the destruction side of that, so naturally they are quite powerful. They were able to completely take over Ninjago City, almost took over Ninjago, and the only thing that is stopping me from putting them at number 1 was the fact that they were pretty easily defeated by the ninja using the Tornado of Creation, but the Tornado of Creation is a pretty powerful power, so I do think that overall the Oni are pretty powerful. At number 2, we have my favorite Ninjago villain, Garmadon. In Crystallized, we got to see Garmadon's Oni form, which personally I believe is more powerful than the Oni, and it was really strong, no doubt about it. He's also the son of the first Spinjitzu master, so he's part Oni, part dragon, which again makes him even more powerful. Finally, his story is being expanded in new comics like Shatterspin, so I'm sure he'll have a lot of super strong powers that we just haven't seen yet, but hopefully we'll get to see going on in Dragon's Rising. Now finally, for number 1, we have probably one of my least favorite Ninjago villains, the Overlord. Now, despite me thinking that he is a pretty bland character, there's absolutely no doubt that he is incredibly strong. In the finale of Crystallized, he was able to just toy with Garmadon, who was already a league above the rest, and he was also the rival to the first Spinjitzu master, who was already like a godlike entity. So at least I think that it is pretty obvious that this guy's supposed to be number 1. Now, of course, Dragon's Rising has yet to introduce a lot of new villains, like Thunderfang, the dragon who wanted to be a Source Dragon, or even Lord Ross's master, and those guys could potentially be really strong, but because I just don't know enough about them already, I can't really put them on this list. But if they do turn out to be more powerful, I might have to make a part 2 of this list with my updated opinions. But that's what I think for this video. Let me know what you think down in the comments below and subscribe.